Hey guys, what's going on? It's Vic here, back with another Madden 20 video. In today's episode, we're obviously going to be rebuilding the New England Patriots, but with the new addition of Cam Newton, who they did just sign in free agency. And Cam Newton seemed to be pretty late pickup. I thought he would be picked up almost right away.
Finally! Finally!
Andy Dalton and I think it was AFL QB got picked up before Cam Newton, which was pretty surprising to me. But I think Andy Dalton was in free agency before Cam Newton was, so don't quote me on that. Anyways, we are here to rebuild the New England Patriots with Cam Newton. So apart from that, guys, it is time to get into the rebuild. Here we are with the overlook of the team as we have Cam Newton, obviously. Superstar development, leapfrog, and jukebox are his superstar abilities, and I made him a superstar just because, just better development in the video because he is 30 years old. Julian Edelman here, superstar development, 76 overall. We're going to be looking to trade him just because of his age. And then I think it's Marcus Lee here. We may trade him, we may not. He's a little bit older. I don't think he'll develop into too much. This O-line is the best O-line I've ever seen in all my rebuilds, but defensively, it looks alright. Defensive linebackers definitely need help, though our secondary is absolutely amazing and I absolutely love it. But yeah, apart from that, guys, it is time to get into the trades, so let's get into it. And for our first trade, we are trading Jason McCourty, Lawrence Guy, and Patrick Chung for a first this year and a first next year from the Cincinnati Bengals. Next, we were trading Dante Hightower, our right tackle, Marquise Canna, I think it is, and Julian Edelman for a first this year, a first next year, and a third next year from the Atlanta Falcons. Next, we were trading our defensive tackle, our strong safety, and another strong safety for a first and a fifth this year from the Houston Texans. And this is what the team looks like after the trades, as overall offense hasn't changed too much, and defensively we did change a lot. I moved to a 4-3, thought it would be better for long term. So apart from that, guys, I think it would be time to get into the midseason mark. So let's just jump straight into this one, shall we? Here we are at the midseason mark as we're coming off a loss to the Cleveland Browns, and looking into it, we are 4-4, below the New York Jets. And looking into contracts, we have Joe Thuney here to resign, and I am going to want to bring him back. I know I usually don't bring back O linemen or anything like that, but for the sake of this rebuild, I will. Same with David Andrews, I will bring him back. Only 2 years, sure, whatever. That works. James White is here as well. Not going to re-sign him. Marquise Lee is here. I'm not going to re-sign him either. Cam Newton is here. I'm going to re-sign him at the end of the season, but I'll have to wait till the end of the season to do that. But apart from that, there's no one else here that I want, and I think apart from that, it is time to get into the playoffs. Here we are in the playoffs, coming off a loss to the Miami Dolphins, as we did not make the playoffs, finishing 7-9. And Cam Newton actually had a lot better season than I thought he would. 20th best offense and 21st best defense. James White had a horrible year. Cam Newton overall did pretty good, a lot better than I thought. James White did not do good. Sony Michel, though, with 10 touchdowns. Marquise Lee, over 1,000 yards, so that's pretty good. And Jacoby Myers with 11 touchdowns. Defensively, Bentley with the most tackles. The most tackles for a loss. It goes to 13 for Adam Butler. Sacks, 10.5 for John Simon. Interceptions, 3 for Jonathan Jones. And safeties is none, and 0 defensive touchdowns, I guess. So apart from that, I'm going to look into the yearly awards as Carson Wentz wins MVP. I'm going to look into to see how good Cam Newton did, and is he even in top 10? Yes, he is the 10th best player for best QB in the running, so almost there, but not quite. Hopefully we can get him up to boost his development to Superstar X Factor. It's time to get into the offseason. Here we are in the offseason as I think the Cowboys beat the Browns in the Super Bowl for Super Bowl 54. We have players to resign such as James White, but we're not going to resign him or anyone else here except Cam Newton, because that is the entire purpose of this video, of course. I'm going to give him that, and he wants to play for a new team, so I'm not going to let that happen. I'm going to tag him. Thank God we have the money for it. Glad I traded a bunch of players away for that. But yeah, apart from that, looking into the team to see if there's any development grades at all. I don't see anyone, not even for Marquise Lee, which is surprising. I thought it would get superstar development. But I don't see anything other than Kyle Duggar which is our strong safety, so I guess he's going to be staying around. But apart from that, guys, I think it would be time to get into free agency, so let's get into it. Here we are after free agency, as we did pick up a new halfback, Kareem Hunt, with superstar development, 90 overall with morale, has spin cycle, and defensively we picked up Richard Sherman on a very, very cheap deal with shutdown and pick artist. So our secondary has improved even more. And apart from that, I think I'm going to be focusing on D-line in the draft. So let's get into it. Here we are in the draft as we are picking up a right guard, hidden development. I'm going to move him to right tackle so that way our O-line stays stacked up. Next, we have our right outside linebacker, Jeff McMillan, 73 overall, hidden development, 22 years old. And next, we have Diamond Ross, 69 overall, nice hidden development. Very, very good player to pick up in the second round. And this is what the team looks like after the draft. And Diamond Ross, I'm really hoping something special for him so that Cam Newton can get rolling. But this O-line is perfect for Cam. And D-line has improved slightly. And we did get a little bit of a better linebacking core. But apart from that, defense still has a long way to go. And I think it'd be time to get into the midseason mark. Here we are at the midseason mark, coming off a loss to the New York Jets, as we are on a bye week, and we are 4-4 once again below the New York Jets, and we have players to resign such as Devin McCourty, and I think I do want him back, but I don't know if I even want to give him that contract. I'll probably pick him up cheaper in free agency. J.C. Jackson is also here. I think I'm going to pick him up cheaper in free agency as well, so I think I'll just wait on that. And we have Cam Newton, obviously, and obviously we're going to want to give him a big deal. He wants more money. We're going to give it to them for the sake of this rebuild. Yeah, so just giving it to him for the sake of this rebuild, and it's time to get to the playoffs. And here we are in the playoffs, coming off a loss to the divisional rival, the New York Jets, as we finish 8-8, and the Jets beat us because of it. Okay, Cam Newton did not have a bad season. 5th best offense, 23rd best defense. Kareem Hunt, I wish he did a little bit better, but looking to the yearly awards, Lamar Jackson wins the MVP. But best QB goes to Baker Mayfield, and did Newton even place? No, he did not, sadly. But looking into it, Cam Newton with the stats, not overall bad stats. I've seen a lot worse. Kareem Hunt has done all right. Diamond Ross actually had a really good season for a rookie. And defensive-wise, Bentley with the most tackles, and tackles for a loss goes to 11 for Jeff McMillan. Sacks 6 for Chase Winovich, 3 interceptions for Kyle Duggar, and safeties is 0, defensive touchdowns is 0. So apart from that, guys, sad to say it is time to get into the offseason. And here we are in the offseason as the Jets lose the Super Bowl to the New Orleans Saints. We have players to re-sign, such as J.C. Jackson and Cam Newton, but I'm going to just re-sign Cam Newton here and up his salary like he requested. And he stays with the team. 80 overall, superstar development, Cam Newton. I'm going to let J.C. Jackson hit free agency just so that way I can pick him up cheaper in a free agency. And looking into the team, who do we have for development upgrades? Not Kyle Duggar, Diamond Ross, superstar X Factor with Most. Okay. That's awesome. That's exactly what I want out of a player, especially a second round player. So that was definitely worth it. And Kareem Hunt now has Leapfrog with Spin Cycle. Defensively, Juan Bentley has, well, I don't know how to say his name, but Bentley has a star development upgrade, so he's going to be a useful middle linebacker. But here we are after free agency, and overall offense doesn't really change much other than we did get Chris Carson because he was just there, because why not? And Dallas, I don't know how to say his last name because I'm stupid and I'm illiterate. But we did pick up J.C. Jackson in free agency for a lot cheaper, like I said. But apart from that, guys, I think it would be time to get into the draft. Here we are in the draft as we are picking up a defensive tackle, Walter Spencer. Here, 74 overall, hidden development, 22 years old, 6'3". And next we are picking up a defensive back for the free safety position because Devin McCourty did retire, so he's going to be a free safety and not a defensive back. Pretty good overall. Next, this is what the team looks like after the draft. As defensively, we did get this defensive tackle. I'm going to move him to second string. And we did also get this defensive tackle as well, and I'm going to move him to the edge. So that way we don't have like a 64 overall over there. And that way it's just, a little bit more worth it. And defensively, Where is the free safety? Okay, so he's a 5th string cornerback. That just shows you how good our defense is, our secondary is. So I'm going to move him to free safety because, again, Devin McCourty did retire. Hopefully we can get some type of development out of him. And looking at the rest of the team, it's pretty good. And apart from that, I think it would be time to get into the midseason mark. If I can actually click on it. And here we are in the midseason mark, coming off a loss to the Miami Dolphins, and we are 4-4 for the 3rd time in a row at the midseason mark, at the bottom of the division. Yikes. Cam Newton doesn't really make that much of a difference, apparently. Stephon Gilmore, 97 overall, superstar X Factor, was shut down. We're obviously going to want to keep him, and he stays around. David Andrews is here once again. I should have signed him to a longer deal, but I want to re-sign him again. He wants more money. I'm going to give it to him. Isaiah Wynn is here as well. We're going to re-sign him as well since we're about to come up on our last and final season. Bentley is here, and I'm going to sign him as well. He stays. Free Jennings is here. I'm going to keep him as an outside linebacker. He wants more money. Joshua Uche is here as well. I don't know if I want him. That's like an iffy question. Jacoby Myers is here. I don't think I want him, and everyone else here don't think I want them either. So apart from that, guys, I think it would be time to get into the playoffs. And here we are in the playoffs, coming off a win to the Atlanta Falcons, but we missed the playoffs again for the 3rd year in a row, finishing at 8-7-1 below the 9-7 New York Jets. Cam Newton actually didn't have that bad of a year, and we had the 7th best offense, and we had the 8th best defense. Kareem Hunt didn't do that bad either. Kareem Hunt actually had a pretty good season. Looking into the yearly awards, Dak Prescott on the Giants, are you kidding me? Wins the MVP? That would never happen. Okay, best QB goes to Jameis Winston on the Colts. Okay, that's weird, but Cam Newton doesn't even place top 10 for best QB in the runnings this year. Cam Newton, definitely 19 interceptions is way too much. Kareem Hunt did actually a pretty good. Diamond Ross did actually pretty good as well. And defensive-wise, Bentley had the most tackles. Most tackles for a loss goes to 10 for Jeff McMillan. Sacks goes to 5.5 for Chase Winovich. Receptions 4 for Stephon Gilmore. And safeties is 0, and defensive touchdowns is 0. So apart from that, guys, I think it would be time to get into the offseason. And here we are in the offseason, as that was a weird, awkward silence thing. But the Bills win the Super Bowl to the Giants, and we have players to resign here, such as David Andrews. And David Andrews doesn't want to stay, so I'm going to franchise tag him, actually, because we don't really need anyone else here. Maybe this outside linebacker, and we still have money to sign him, even though we just franchise tag our center. But apart from that, that's all the signings I want. And looking into the team, we are an 85 overall, I think. And this team, I think, is just needs to perform. It needs to perform this final year. We do need another outside linebacker. And this defensive tackle does have superstar development with no abilities. Sadly, we picked him up in one of our final years, and the free safety only has star development, so that kind of sucks. But apart from that, it is time to get into free agency. Here we are after free agency, and we picked up Allen Robinson, 90 overall, without Corner Elite and Leapfrog as a receiver. So we got more weapons for Cam, and apart from that, we really didn't do anything on defense other than get Marcus Davenport. And apart from that, I think it would be time to get into the draft. So, and also Richard Sherman retired, so that's my bad. And that kind of sucks, but again, apart from that, it is time to get into the draft, so let's get into it. And in the draft, we were trading a 2nd-round pick for the outside linebacker, Von Miller. I know he's only an 83 overall, but he's better than our linebacker, and he has a superstar X factor. And this is what the team looks like after the draft. Not too much on offense and not too much on defense other than Von Miller. So apart from that, guys, it is time to get to the playoffs, actually. Let's just simulate straight to the playoffs because why not, It doesn't even matter, the midseason mark. And we didn't make the playoffs once again. Okay, coming off a loss to the Lions. 4 straight, no playoff wins. 9-7, the bottom of the division. When has the AFC, I think this is the East, I feel retarded. When has this ever been this competitive? I don't think ever, but for some reason our defense decided not to play, and some CPU generated dude named Ross Nugget won the MVP. And the best QB, Cam Newton only got one top 10 QB, and he got 10th place in his first year. He only got one ranking at all in all of his career, okay, with the Patriots. But Allen Robinson didn't do too bad. Bentley with the most tackles for a loss, 8 for Walter Spencer, sacks, 12 for Marcus Davenport, interceptions, 4 for Stephon Gilmore, safeties is 0, and defensive touchdowns is 1 for Stephon Gilmore. So I know we didn't make it to the playoffs at all with Cam Newton, but this just shows you the future of Cam Newton. Not really. I was joking around with that. I was trying to be beneficial to this rebuild and trying to give him superstar development. I wasn't going to give him an X factor, but I was just trying to see what could happen. But anyways, apart from disappointing you guys, I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. I know I did. And apart from that, guys, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. So peace out.